Hello everyone and welcome back to the garden. More specifically, welcome back to our ranunculus tour this year. Now this year I had quite a bit of problems with ranunculus and my drainage, so admittedly I lost a lot of the varieties that I was going to grow, which totally bums me out. But fortunately we do have some, pretty neat varieties here to show you. Before I get into the ones that are new to me this year, I did want to mention the ranunculus tour from last year might be very, very beneficial. I'm putting some footage in from last year's ranunculus here at this point in the video. I grew them in the hoop house and they were absolutely gorgeous. Last year I grew a lot of the Amandine varieties and a lot of the Labelle series of ranunculus corms, and I think they turned out really, really great. So I do encourage you to check out that video. I'll put a link to that in the cards here that you can go back and click on if you so desire to do that. A lot of these are fancier varieties this year that I had for the very, very, very first time, and I was really excited to grow. Even though I've been growing for about 10 years, growing flowers for about 10 years, this was actually the first time that I've been able to get my hands on some of the Italian Elegance and kind of Cloni varieties, Cloni success varieties of ranunculus, which are so popular. They're a little bit more pricey. I should note that I ordered these from Facebook, a Facebook group called Wholesale for the Small Scale Grower. There's not a link to this down in the description, but it should be pretty easy to find on Facebook. Tons of people are a member of this group. I'm sure I'm not the only YouTuber. I'm sure other people have mentioned it as well. It's a great group. I've really, really appreciated growing these different stuff that I've ordered from there. It's so accessible, so I'm so thankful for that. Without much further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. First, I wanted to show you a couple of new Amandine varieties that were completely new to me. The first one is this Amandine Porcelain, and I only had a small planting of these just because I always like to order in small quantities just for my little backyard here. These are gorgeous. They are kind of a white and a pastel pink, but this pastel pink is absolutely enchanting. I love this pastel pink color. You can see it's kind of got these glowing edges, I would kind of describe it as. These were great for cut flowers. They worked in a lot of pastel spring flower arrangements with tulips and daffodils and things like that. Another one that I wanted to quickly show you is the Amandine Purple Jean, I guess is how you say it. I'm not quite sure, but this was another gorgeous one that I really, really liked. I'm usually not too big on purples, deep purples, but I've come to really, really enjoy these, and they were gorgeous. Again, we have that kind of white, kind of pastel lavender color, and we have those darker markings surrounding it, and I think it just really adds a really pretty layer of kind of depth and dimension, especially in arrangements with other purple lavender flowers. So very pretty. The rest of the Amandine varieties that I grew this year, most of them were pretty much just the same as the ones that I grew last year, and unfortunately I didn't have time to get a lot of video of this because I did end up hurting my hand, but just again, that other tour video I think is going to be really great if you want to check those out. Getting into the new varieties for me this year, first up we have this Elegance one. It is the Bianco Sfumato. Again, I'm sure I'm saying this wrong, but I've always wanted to grow this one because I've always been attracted to its colorful kind of I don't know, markings, white with the kind of pink markings. You can see here in this video, you can see we have some of the flowers that are that traditional, what you would expect from the Sfumato, I guess. But most of mine came out to be this deep, deep pink burgundy, kind of pink burgundy color. Don't get me wrong, this pink burgundy color is absolutely gorgeous, and it is so bright and vibrant and intensely saturated that it pretty much glows when the sun is out here in my yard. However, this is not what I expected at all from this Bianco. I'm not quite sure if something may have happened. Maybe there's been a mix-up in corms. That can happen no matter where you order from. That can happen. Or if it has something to do with soil conditions here in my yard, or it has something to do with temperatures. Your guess is really as good as mine. I'm very much learning all the time when it comes to this stuff. But just something interesting to take note of. Next here in the garden, I have another one. This is new to me. This is Elegance Pastello. Pastello is one that I'd been wanting to get my hands on for quite some time. This one is absolutely gorgeous. It's just these beautiful light shades of kind of like a baby pink is how I think I would best describe it. All the pictures that I'd seen online, they were a little bit lighter in color than most of the things that I'd seen online. However, here in my garden, they're a little bit darker. And I think that seems to be the general consensus when I grow things here in the garden. I don't know, again, if it's my soil or my temperatures. My temperatures are a little bit warmer. Maybe the color develops a little bit more. But still a very, very attractive pink color. Very nice. So definitely no complaints there. Just such a beautiful flower. Next up, we have another Italian ranunculus from the Elegance series. This is Elegance Salmon. I believe I grew Elegance Salmon before last year or a couple years ago. I can't remember now. I'll put a link to that other ranunculus tour from 2 years ago. I'll put a card there if I can find it here so you can click on it. I had some really beautiful footage of the salmon ranunculus there, I believe, too. But salmon is such a beautiful color. This remains to be one of my favorite ranunculus, the Elegance Salmon. Unlike the Amandine salmon, these Elegance salmon are much more creamy and like a true salmon color, what I would consider a salmon color rather than orange. Moving right along, I did want to show you some of the fancier Cloni varieties that I was able to grow. I only had a few corms of each of these. This is Cloni Grand Pastel, and I think undoubtedly this is one of my absolute favorite ranunculus that I grew this season. They are amazing. Admittedly, I wanted to dislike the Cloni Ranunculus because they are pricey. I think I paid $2.75 for each of these corms, which, I mean, is a bargain compared to where, you know, if you were to buy them retail off the internet. But they are protected by plant breeders' rights. I won't get into plant breeders' rights here because even when I tell the information that I've been told and read 1,000 times, somebody always tells me, no, you're wrong. That's not how it goes. So just be aware that there are plant breeders' rights. I'm not going to get into it because I don't feel like, you know, defending myself in the comment section. But if you're going to grow these, just know your own responsibility to grow these. That's all I have to say about that. Moving on. Sorry for my little miniature rant. I love ranunculus, and I do my best to give the best information that I know. So I am trying my best. Next, we have another one that has easily become one of my favorites. This is Cloni Hanoi, I guess is how you say it. Not quite sure. But these are the most beautiful shade of white pink. These are something truly magical. I have yet to find anything that compares to this Hanoi ranunculus. They're so pretty. The porcelain, the Amandine porcelain is kind of like this a little bit in same colors, but the markings are different. These are gorgeous. Also the chamello are kind of like this a little bit, but again, the markings are a little bit different. This Hanoi is beautiful. As you can see, they're white, but they've got that tint of that kind of pinkish color deep in the center that is absolutely stunning, absolutely gorgeous. I just can't say enough good things about these. Next up, we have another Cloni variety. This is called Cloni Mambo. This Cloni Mambo is kind of an orange color, which, you know, is an interesting choice for me because usually I'm not the kind of person who pick orange flowers, but I was really kind of staying with the tones of kind of like that peach lavender color, and I was hoping these would be more lavender. These are kind of a true orange, but some of them did have that kind of salmony color in the middle. But wow, these things are huge. All of the Clonis were huge, but these were especially huge. Some of these were bigger than the double peony tulips that I grew. I mean, if you've ever grown peony tulips, you know they're huge. But some of these ranunculus flowers were even bigger than that, which to me is absolutely insane because, I mean, that's just beautiful. I can't get over it. Anyway, even though I'm not really a fan of orange flowers, these definitely won me over with no problem whatsoever. I have a couple more Cloni ranunculus here before we end this. Actually, no, I think I only have one more. Next, I have Cloni Minerva. Now, this is actually a pon-pon type, I believe, And the main reason I ordered Cloni Minerva were they were these kind of shade of kind of a pink salmon color that was very similar to the Super Greens mix that I had grown last year. I love the Super Greens mix. They totally won me over. Super Greens in tandem with like the Tiger mix, which I wasn't able to get this year. Very good choices. Anyway, Cloni Minerva here in my yard, it opened up to be more of a darker color. I didn't get those pretty kind of pink salmon red kind of blooms that I was hoping for. Mine were more of a reddish pink coral. If I had to describe it, maybe like a dirty coral color, if I had to put a name to it. But I still liked it, and they were still very usable in flower arrangements. You can see here in the video that I had arranged it with this really pretty kind of dark vase. I did a really dark vase with a bunch of dark tulips and things in this white picture that I think turned out absolutely beautiful. The color is very reminiscent of something like the drumline tulip, if I had to compare it to another flower that maybe you're familiar with. But very, very pretty. I didn't have too many blooms of these, but it was interesting to see a new texture and a new color and everything here in the yard to kind of compare that to the things that I have grown in the past. I know that this ranunculus tour, I feel like I've really let y'all down with this ranunculus tour, because I had such high hopes for this season and for the ranunculus and for donations for the ranunculus. I really wanted to be something spectacular, and I feel like I I came short of that, and I'm kind of beating myself up over it. I know I have to work on being less critical of myself, but I hope that you did enjoy these flowers. Nonetheless, I really sincerely hope that you enjoyed them. I know I've had so much fun making all these different flower arrangements with the ranunculus and everything. These ranunculus are just about done blooming here in my yard. The weather is climbing into the 90s now, and that's usually about the time the ranunculus stop producing flowers. So even though I am bummed out about that, that's seriously a bummer. The good news is that these ranunculus are actually going to be replaced with our dahlia seedlings, the dahlias that I am growing from seed this year, so that we can get some new varieties of dahlia growing in our yard. So that's exciting. So even though our beautiful ranunculus are coming to a close, I can't wait to replace them with something else and see what might happen in the future. As always, I am so incredibly thankful for you watching this video and supporting the channel. It really does mean the world to me. I genuinely mean that, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do this, and it wouldn't be possible, and I wouldn't be able to, grow these different types of flowers. So thank you so, so much. As always, links to all my blogs and everything, and Patreon and everything else. Instagram, be sure to follow me on Instagram if you want. I do more kind of goofy stuff over on Instagram, less flowers, more just kind of me goofing around. But you're more than welcome there. As always, you can put any questions or comments down in the description below. Those are always welcome. I will try to get back to you. For the most part, a little bit behind. I have stitches in my hands still, so I'm way behind on answering comments, but I do try to do my best. I hope that it is incredibly sunny wherever you are, and I hope that you're having a gorgeous day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye!